Guys, real quick about the benefits of reusing your original Chrome on your Windows. You might think that the new stuff is exactly the same. It is not exactly the same. And I'm going to show you why towards the end of the video. But first of all, I'm going to talk to you about how to get the original stuff out and save it. So you might look at these windows and you go, God, those fit so perfect. Well, that's the reason why. It's original. So before you remove your windows, do not grab your Chrome trim and try and pull it out of the groove. That's not the way to save it. That's going to ruin the original trim. So what you need to do is from the inside, you cut all the way around, cut the rubber, push your window out, okay? Leave the rubber on the old glass, and then what you do is then before you go to install it, I usually leave the window chrome and the rubber on the glass to protect the edges of the glass while I'm doing the restoration. Then what I do is when I get to the part where I'm going to replace it, take the rubber carefully off with the chrome trim off on it, off of the glass. You'll find a loose spot somewhere. Just kind of work it around and pull off the rubber with the chrome trim still on it. Sometimes I'll actually, if I'm having trouble doing that, I'll actually cut the rubber right here at the seam, where the seam is, where this little guy is right here, and I'll cut it right here at the seam of the metal, and actually just then, that'll give me the room I need to remove the rubber without damaging it and without damaging the chrome, and then remove the chrome carefully at that point, because it's, actually what I'll do is I'll polish it first, then I'll remove the chrome from the rubber so that it's all polished and ready to go on the new window at the time when you go to install it. So people say, well, why would you do that? The stuff's really cheap. You get brand new stuff from Wolfsburg West. It's already polished, and it's, well, first of all, look at how these windows fit. Okay, if you want your windows to fit like that, okay, the reason they fit, look at this back window. Okay, the reason it fits like this, you notice the corners are really nice. The corners right here is this old chrome trim is very, very, very slightly thicker than the stuff you get from Wolfsburg West, the replacement stuff, or from West Coast Matrix or wherever you're getting it from. It's just a tad thicker, and it's a little bit stiffer. It's a little harder to work with. But the end result is that little tiny bit of difference makes the corners fit really good on your windows when you go to put them in the car. So if you're looking for that little bit of an edge, that's how you get it. And it's really not that hard to polish them when you leave the chrome in the rubber. If you have a polishing tool, you can literally polish them out pretty quickly. If your chrome is really scratched like the windshield was, and I left it because I just, it's scratched and nicked a little bit. To me, it just looks cool because it is original, and people will maybe notice that, and they'll notice that the windows fit really good. They won't really know why, but I'm telling you guys why, so that maybe you'll save your original chrome. So for so many years, I've always thrown it away. Like years ago, back when that wasn't cool, we used to just put in the German, the European rubber, and for the standard bug, and get rid of it. Dechrome your car. That was so cool, right? Now everybody's doing it original because I think it just looks better. The original looks better. But also, we were kind of lazy. It was a lot of work to put this trim in. And back in the old days, we were just trying to fix up the car and make it run. We didn't care about restoration. we were trying to slam it and lower it, whatever, and put a big fat motor in it, and you know, it was all fun and games. Nobody cared because bugs were everywhere. There was like every third or fourth car was a bug. So where I live, at least in California, so it was really, you know, they were just all over the place. Parts were so cheap, you could just buy the whole car for $300. You know, all the parts to restore the car was like $300 or something like that. So it really wasn't that much money. I remember doing the whole engine was, I used to get all the parts to do an engine for $300, the whole thing. I mean, rebuilt rods, reground crankshaft, everything I needed, and then I'd get maybe the machine work was like $50 for everything to get done. You know, but I also had a really good connection. One of my friends had a shop, so I got everything at wholesale. So I never had to pay retail. We used to go have a bug pack book, and I could look in bug pack, and it was always the cheapest price that they had. I mean, he'd add like $20 on the whole order, and that was what I paid, you know, for whatever I wanted. If I wanted a whole bunch of window rubber and everything, I just go over to his shop. And the reason I got that is because I was there all the time when he needed me to do whatever. If I was there, I didn't even ask for a paycheck. You know, I would just go do sandblast, a bunch of engine tin and paint it. I didn't even, I would say, hey, what do you need done? And he goes, oh, there's some engine tin over there. Oh, okay, just do it. And it was like, so that was my way to get parts cheap. So anyway, but that's why you want to use the original chrome. If you've got it, try and save it. It will make your windows fit. It's just that little tiny bit. I mean, you're talking about a half a millimeter, and then all of a sudden it fits. So that's why. Talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.